Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque, and welcome back to Season 2 of Luminous Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had a breakup, a claw wound, and a broken back. So, two of our cats, after kind of being under the radar, I feel like a little bit, Bubbling Gale and Plum Raven decided that they were going to break up because they simply could not make time for each other and they did not want to make time for each other. And Plum Raven was actually the one to break off the relationship. I think ever since Bubbling Gale has entered into politics, he's been more focused on his ambitions, and Plum Raven really wants someone who's going to give her the time of day. So there was that. And then we had one of our apprentices, Burrowpaw, who didn't listen to his mentor Reed Daisy and decided to go off and fight with a rogue, ended up getting a claw wound and had to sit out of patrols last moon, or this moon. We're going to time skip in a second here. And then we also had the remaining 4 apprentices go out on patrol with Plumestripe, under Plumestripe supervision, and, with Crocus Fade. And they decided to cross a Thunderpath, which ended up really badly because, which one is it? Rowan Kit, there we go, Rowan Kit, what am I saying? Rowan Paw, sorry. Rowan Paw got hit by a monster and now has a broken back. So, yeah, things could have gone worse, but we did have some severe injuries. So this time around, we are going to be continuing and seeing what happens to our cats. Without further ado, let us go ahead and skip a moon. We have no birth and death notices, so there is that. With the heightened focus of the clan, 23 additional pieces of prey were gathered. Given Shade Clan's reputation of warm-hearted sociability, Slopeflake decides to praise the wisdom and rationality of Shade Clan's mediators at the gathering. The appreciative gleam in Shade Clan's leader's eye suggests this was the right course of action. So we are going to praise Lynx Clan next up, and it seems as though Lystar is back on his feet. He's probably going to be back for 1 moon, and then he's going to be back in the Medicine Cat Den. Bubbling Gale travels to Whimsy Clan to resolve some recent hunting disputes. Bubbling Gale was taking some prey from the fresh kill pile only to find a horde of rats. While Bubbling Gale managed to fight off every last rat, he got injured in the process. Lystar's white cough is gone. Slopeflake puts his paw over Bubbling Gale's as they announce they've become mates? Wait, what? Hold on a second. We were just talking in the last episode about how Bubbling Gale, the only other cat he's had any interest in, has been Slopeflake, and actually he had been interested in Slopeflake from a long time ago, but he never made a move because Slopeflake was obviously into other people, and Bubbling Gale's not the type to go for it if he knows he can't get it, so he just stepped back and backed off. So there was that. Huh. You know what, guys? I'm wondering, obviously last time we had, based on what we were seeing, reasons for why Bubbling Gale and Plum Raven might have broken off. And I did mention, even before we did the time skip, that but ever since Bubbling Gale entered politics, then, he wasn't really making time for his mate. And Plum Raven felt that, and she decided to break it off. Now I'm also wondering if the reason that was a thing, the reason why he couldn't make time, is because ever since Bubbling Gale entered politics, he started spending more time with Slopeflake, his old flame. And even though it was a one-sided flame, apparently Slopeflake reciprocates. And so now they've become mates. Wow, okay. Very fascinating. And I mean, if this is Bubbling Gale finally getting the love that he's been waiting for his entire life, I'm happy for him. But I feel dubious about Slopeflake, because if we know anything about Slopeflake's romantic history, we know that his one and only true love is Greyswipe. And every time Greyswipe gets single, Slopeflake pretty much dumps everyone around him and he confesses to her, and she rejects him. And then as soon as she gets back together with Slumberroach, Slopefleck, he attaches himself to another cat. Like any of the other cats who's interested in him, he attaches himself to them. And that becomes like a cover for him to be able to then spend time with Gracewhipe without her becoming uncomfortable. So I don't know how to feel about it from Slopefleck's angle, but I guess I'm happy for Bubbling Gill. This is very surprising though. Very surprising. I did not anticipate such a ton of events, but it seems as though this is what has been happening. I wonder if Plumraven could sense some of this, could sense Bubbling Gill's attention kind of scattering. But I don't know. I don't see Bubbling Gill as that type of cat. I feel like while he was with Plumraven, he would have been very loyal to Plumraven. But obviously, you know, him being colleagues with Slopefleck, ever since he entered politics, I think it's only natural that he would start going distant from Plumraven. Okay, let's check the medicine cat den. So Bubbling Gill has a rat bite, Burrowpaw has the claw wound, and Rowanpaw has broken back. Lystar was given Mullen as treatment for white cough. They'll be less likely to die. His white cough is gone. Burrowpaw was given Goldenrod as treatment for claw wound. They'll be less likely to die. Rowanpaw was given Juniper as treatment for broken back. They'll heal sooner. Slumberroach gathered raspberry, daisy, and oak leaves this moon. Okay, good to know. Let's dive into relationships. And see what's happening with our cats. We might get a timeline for when they became mates, what happened around the time they became mates. Gracewhipe explained something in detail to Bubbling Gill that others wouldn't explain to him. Bubbling Gill felt eyes on his back, and when he looked, Plumraven was quickly turning away. Oh, Bubbling Gill. You know what? The fact that Gracewhipe is trying to explain something to Bubbling Gill, I'm wondering whether Gracewhipe at this point has managed to work out Slopefleck's behavior, and maybe she noticed that Bubbling Gill and Slopefleck were kind of getting close, and so she wanted to go to Bubbling Gill, and you know, out of good intentions, wanted to explain to him the way that Slopefleck acts, and to be careful around him. And then Bubbling Gill, you know, he felt eyes on his back, and then when he looked back, it was Plumraven, his ex-mate, who was quickly turning away. And I'm wondering if Plumraven also was starting to notice that Bubbling Gill and Slopefleck have been getting together very close, very quickly. And I wonder if she's thinking, and that was a negative effect, so I'm wondering if Plumraven, at the time of the breakup, didn't think that there was anything going on, but now she's looking back and she's questioning whether there was something going on. Oh, Plumraven, don't doubt Bubbling Gill. You're not together anymore, but he was faithful, I assure you. Dogpounds thought Slumberroach was very polite today. Dogpounds and Fig Scratch spent the morning telling interesting stories. Lystar stretched in front of Plumraven. Plumraven didn't get a great view. Lystar woke up a bunch of cats with morning stretches. They didn't like it. Lystar thinks Buttercup Dusk has been acting stuck up and rude. Slumberroach convinces Plumraven to help him pull a prank on a clanmate. Ratfur tells Slumberroach that his pelt is shiny today. In the middle of a squabble, Cloudpaw says something to Gracewhipe that makes the whole clan gasp. Okay. Cloudpaw, who is mentored, she's sneaky, she's mentored to Buttercup Dusk. That's not good. Okay, Gracewhipe dispels a bad rumor about Stonepaw, who is apprentice to Ratpaw. I kind of like that Gracewhipe would be protective of Stonepaw, because Stonepaw is the apprentice of Gracewhipe's former apprentice, so that's kind of nice. Ratpaw. Slopefleck got tricked into doing one of Plumestripe's chores. Slopefleck notices that Plumestripe doesn't want to help out. Slopefleck puts his paw over Bubbling Gill's as they announce they become mates. Okay, so Bubbling Gill basically got the talk before he became mates with Slopefleck. But I wonder if at this point, Bubbling Gill is too kind to hold it against Slopefleck. I'm wondering if Bubbling Gill is simply being grateful for the fact that his longtime love, or his longtime crush, is finally resulting in something. I don't know. I don't feel good about this one, guys. Plumestripe comforts Plumraven after a terrible nightmare. Plumestripe and Burrowpaw chase off a predator on a patrol together. Burrowpaw, who has a claw wound, still went on a patrol with Plumestripe? I mean, good on him. Plumraven and Fig Scratch notice a cloud is shaped like a bird. Plumraven, Plumestripe, and Crocus Fade had a nice talk while eating. Ratfur offers to groom a hard-to-reach place for Cloudpaw, who thanks her earnestly. Cloudpaw, who is apprenticed to Buttercup Dusk. Crocus Fade is wowed by how bravely Lyrestar fought the other day. Fought what? Fought who? Fought against laziness? Perhaps. Stonepaw takes Fig Scratch's side while Fig Scratch is in a debate. Reed Daisy quickly apologizes after bumping into Stonepaw. They have a small laugh about it. That's cute. Reed Daisy didn't realize Plumraven was flirting with her. Oh. Has Plumraven turned her attention to Reed Daisy maybe, but Reed Daisy is not feeling it, I suppose? Okay. Buttercup Dusk had a good dream about Cloudpaw, his apprentice, which is nice, thank goodness. Stonepaw calls to Lyrestar to catch her, a fat mouse, on his next hunting patrol. Buttercup Dusk gives Burrowpaw a big piece of fresh kill. Rowanpaw notices that Burrowpaw is never congratulated for her accomplishments as much as everyone else. Oh. I guess they're bonding. You know, Rowanpaw has a broken back, Burrowpaw has a claw wound. They're both in the medicine cat den. I suppose they're bonding over there. Cloudpaw talks with Ratfur about some clan drama. Shadowpaw is jealous that Plumestripe got to go to the last gathering. Shadowpaw, Fig Scratch, and Reed Daisy took a sunbath and had a little small talk. You know what I've been noticing is a lot of the mentors are looking after a lot of the other apprentices. And the other apprentices are getting along well with the other mentors, which is kind of nice to see. Especially because we often have situations where our mentors like swap apprentices for the patrols and such. I like it. Okay, I am going to cut the recording here and we're going to dive into the cat list. Okay, it is time for us to go through the cat list. Loyalty-wise, nothing has changed. It is the same as before, Slowfleck plus the 3 children of Lyrestar. Now, I was interested to see how things were between Slowfleck and Bubbling Gill. And obviously, because Bubbling Gill is the mediator, I can't jump in and compare the two of them, but I learned something interesting. When I dived into relationships. So Slowfleck, who has been resenting Plumestripe for a long time, actually hates him as well as resents him. And then I was like, oh, it seems as though he does like Bubbling Gill quite a lot at present. It seems as though he likes her actually, currently, more than Gracewipe. He finally, that last rejection from Gracewipe finally must have been the thing that tipped him over the edge, and now he's no longer, he's realized that this is the line. Gracewipe is never going to accept him, he needs to move on. So he's decided to now focus on Bubbling Gill instead. So I was like, hey, let's look at Bubbling Gill and see what's going on here. And guess what I discovered? Bubbling Gill also hates Plumestripe, which I knew this, but I forgot about this. So it seems as though this couple, guys, of Slowfleck and Bubbling Gill, basically together, one of the bonding things about their relationship is that they hate Plumestripe. I don't know how to feel about that. How can you hate my beautiful Plumestripe? Plumestripe, who is my favorite cat in the clan right now. How can you hate him? I don't understand. I really don't understand how they could do this. But okay, there was that. And who likes who more? Slowfleck for Bubbling Gill, he's got 4 points on the romantic like. And Bubbling Gill has 4 and a bit. Oh no, yes, he's got 4 and a bit. So actually Bubbling Gill likes Slowfleck more. I feel like Slowfleck made the move, but Bubbling Gill was the one. I don't know, what did it say in the events? It felt like Slowfleck was the one, wasn't it? That kind of initiated it? Yeah, because it says Slowfleck puts his paw over Bubbling Gill's. So it feels like Slowfleck was the one who pursued Bubbling Gill. It seems that way to me. Huh. And that's definitely in character with Slowflag. Bubbling Gale would never step up and do something like that. Ah. So we had that. And then I wanted to check up on who was it? Plum Raven and Reed Daisy, because of that prompt that said Reed Daisy didn't realize that Plum Raven was flirting with her. And I thought that meant Plum Raven might like Reed Daisy, but actually it's the other way around. Reed Daisy likes Plum Raven, so I don't know if that was written right or written wrong, or if Plum Raven was casually flirting with Reed Daisy, but Reed Daisy didn't realize that Plum Raven was casually flirting with her, and now that she's thinking about it, she's suddenly becoming interested in Plum Raven, but maybe Plum Raven didn't mean it in that way. I don't know, it was a negative interaction. I'm not sure how that negative interaction can result in a romantic like, my brain ain't working, or that sentence ain't working. I even went back and checked, but like it still didn't make sense to me. This sentence over here, hold on. Where is it? Reed Daisy didn't realize Plum Raven was flirting with her. But Reed Daisy is the one that has feelings for Plum Raven, not the other way around. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm a little bit confused. I'm going to interpret it as Plum Raven casually made a flirtatious comment to Reed Daisy. Reed Daisy at the time didn't realize that it was a flirt, so she couldn't flirt back. And now when she thinks about it, she's kind of kicking herself in the head. But she's also started feeling attracted to Plum Raven. Right, I think that's the way I'm interpreting it. But also, can we go ahead and encourage Plumestripe and Ratfur to fall even further in? Oh no. Alright, our mediator can't work. That's okay. Plumestripe is in love with Ratfur. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Okay. Well, let's go through and see what the cats are getting up to today. So, Lyastar is stretching out. Slowflex, so a two-leg petting a Lona. Slumberroach is telling Darkpounce a story. Bubbling Gale envies the deputy's position. Okay, I mean, he's ambitious, guys. So you know what? Bubbling Gale used to be compassionate, but now he's ambitious. He's different. I wonder, guys, if Bubbling Gale is in a relationship with Slowfleck, or if he, accepted a relationship with Slowfleck for different reasons than we might have initially thought. Because if he's envying the deputy's position, maybe Bubbling Gale is doing this because Slowfleck is the deputy. Maybe that's why he's doing this. He's doing this for influence and to climb up the political ranks. And it makes sense why Plum Raven broke up with him over this, like his ambition was getting between their relationship. Kinda like that. So yeah, Slowfleck might be using Bubbling Gale, but I think Bubbling Gale is using Slowfleck too. The kind cat we knew, guys, I think is gone. Grayswipe is eating some fresh kill. Plumestripe went on a long moonlit stroll the other night, and just out of curiosity, now is for the max apprentices the game keeps track of? Because that's the only way I can interpret this. Unless former apprentices only kind of count as long as you have them graduate, or they're like 6 moons or something. Maybe, we'll see. Rowan Poe will be our test. He'll be our test. Because Ratfur was 5... What am I saying? Rainpool was 11 moons old? Yeah, he was 11 moons old when he died. So he couldn't become a warrior, but he's listed here. So I wonder if you have to be an apprentice for a certain amount of moons for to be listed. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, continuing. Plumestripe, did I read this? I think I did. Went on a long moonlit stroll the other night. Plum Raven almost got lost near some two-leg nests. Ratfur is itching to run. Crocus Fade guards camp. Fig Scratch is craving the taste of fish. Reed Daisy saw a kitty pet sitting calmly next to a dog. Buttercup Dusk has the apprentices very engaged in a very, very tall tale. Stonepaw is grooming away. This is actually really cute because she's grooming, and Ratfur is running. That's so cute. They're on the same wavelength. I love that. Burrowpaw saw some wandering two legs today. Rowanpaw is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. Cloudpaw sharpens her claws. Shadowpaw is having a nice conversation with the cat scouting camp. And Darkpounce is finding Bubbling Gale annoying. Okay. Maybe she's looking at the way he's climbing up the ranks, getting into a relationship with Slowfleck, acting very different to the innocent Bubbling Gale she remembers, and she's getting annoyed with his new personality. Could be it. Okay, I'm gonna cut the recording here, and we're gonna continue with patrols. Okay, let's see what our kitty cats get up to. We're gonna be sending out Slumber Roach first as our medicine cat. We have 234.2 food. We need 43. So really, we don't need much at all. And it seems as though after this, we're going to have a patrol, 2 patrols of 6 and a patrol of 1. Okay. New Leaf has brought new life to Luminous Clan's territory, and Slumber Roach heads out to gather fresh mallow for the stores. Proceed. The weedy-looking mallow doesn't seem to be recovering well from leaf bear this year, and it worries Slumber Roach. Oh, before we head out on patrols, actually, I didn't check the experience points for our apprentices. Stonepaw has 14, Burrowpaw has 10, Rowanpaw has 8, Cloudpaw has 11, Shadowpaw has 10. Okay, so 10, 11, 8, 10, 10, 11. Stonepaw, guys, Stonepaw is the best of the batch right now. Yes, grooming, running is getting us somewhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Stonepaw is the best of the batch currently. Cloudpaw is in second place. Then we have Burrowpaw and Shadowpaw in third place. And funnily enough, Rowanpaw is now lagging behind because of that broken back. Ah, how the tables turn. Yeah, Stonepaw has gone from being the lowest of the batch to the best of the batch. And Rowanpaw has gone from being the best of the batch to the lowest of the batch. That's wild. I mean, Burrowpaw and Rowanpaw were both kind of vying for first position, but wow, that's wild. So let's send them out on patrols and see if any of the cats kind of surpass each other. Well, between these 3, because the other 2, they can't go on patrols. So let's see what their mentors have decided this time around. So, okay. Seems as though Buttercup Dusk is keeping his apprentice close. Cloudpaw is going to go with his mentor. And Ratfur has decided to send Stonepaw over here under the supervision of a Reed Daisy. And then we have Lystar and Slopefleck in this group as well. Okay, I think Ratfur feels as though Stonepaw is in a really good place right now, and she'll do really well. Maybe gain some experience under Reed Daisy. Okay, let's send these guys out on patrol. There's a spring in their steps as the cats head out. Today looks like a good day for hunting. Proceed. Not only does Lystar personally catch a terrifying amount of prey, but he offers up support to everyone else to do the same, and the patrol brings a truly awe-inspiring haul home. A huge amount of prey is brought to camp. Okay, Lystar, who is actually a really good hunter for once, is doing something admirable as leader. 332.2 prey, oh my goodness. And now we have our next set of 6. Okay, so Shadowpaw is sticking very close to her mentor Plumestripe. Then we have Plum Raven, Ratfur, Crocus Fade, and Grey Swipe going out together. And Fig Scratch has been assigned to a solo patrol by the deputy. So let's go ahead, see what these guys get up to. The patrol has a disagreement and looks to Grey Swipe to settle the dispute. Let's proceed. Grey Swipe listens to both sides, then makes a careful judgment. It keeps no one happy, the mark of an excellent compromise. Okay, so I wonder what Shadowpaw learned from this. And finally we have Fig Scratch, a patrol I'm concerned about. Now Fig Scratch, I think the last couple of patrols has been sent in big groups because he was quite traumatized from that massacre that happened with the 4 apprentices and his mate, and this is the first time he's actually going out alone. So let's see how this goes. Fig Scratch, wanders past an old badger set dug into the rocky hillside only to freeze. There's a new scent here, acrid and sour. I mean, I think in the last moon we actually had Plum Raven have this exact situation, but she managed to get out of it. She kind of snuck in to take a look, confirmed the badger was there, and then she ran back to camp. I wonder how Fig Scratch is going to handle this. Proceed. Fig Scratch carefully approaches the burrow to figure out if there's anything new inside. It's so dark and it all smells the same. He tries to creep just a little closer, but the ground drops away steeply beneath his paws and he loses his footing, skidding right into the disturbed badger's lethal jaws. Fig Scratch died! Oh my goodness, guys. His skills were hunting and advising and he was strict and he died. Oh, you know, out of the 2 cats, out of Plum Raven and Fig Scratch, if I had to say like which cat would have had a higher chance or would have been more likely to die, I would have thought it was Plum Raven, not Fig Scratch. But oh, this is so tragic because his mate died not too long ago and he survived only to die this death at the jaws of a badger. Oh, Fig Scratch, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Fig Scratch. Guys, we were just saying how Lystar, like, his family lucked out because his kids, like, his litter of 3 kids, they all survived into adulthood and they were all fine and well. And then we lost his son, Fig Scratch. Ay. That is so tragic. You think about the love story of our strict young warriors, Fig Scratch and Night Ember. That is very, very unfortunate. So tragic, their story. But okay, it seems as though that is all that we have for this episode. Okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.